Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Friday here in Melbourne. And of course, let's turn our attention to hockey in particular and of course speak with the Craigieburn Hockey Club. And of course, we've got a very special guest on the show. Of course, she plays in the juniors out there at Craigieburn. And of course, unfortunately, their season came to, well, they didn't actually start the season at all in 2020. But of course, she joins us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks so much for joining us.
Anytime.
Also, I'll get you to introduce yourself and tell us what position and which team you would normally be playing if the season went ahead this year.
Yep. So my name is Ravneet Kaur. I play for the Craigieburn Falcons Hockey Club, which is based in Craigieburn, and I usually play right in. And I play in under 14s, and I also played in senior women's team, and I played last year in senior women's team and in under 14s and under 12s, and I'd probably be playing in under 14s and senior women's team this year.
No season this year due to COVID and obviously our lockdowns here in Melbourne. For you, how disappointing was that for you and how sad was that to not be playing at all this year?
I was actually devastated. I was really sad.
How long did it take to sort of, get over the fact that there was no hockey at all this year?
I still kept believing that we'll still get to play a few matches, and I just kept telling myself and convincing myself, no, we'll get to play. And then my dad had to actually tell me, no, we're not going to have a season, but I still kept believing myself. But now I know that we're not going to have a season because time's over.
What have you been doing during these lockdowns to get yourself motivated to, have that opportunity to hopefully get back on the hockey field again?
So, well, my whole family plays hockey. So everyone except my mum, but we all play hockey. So we also have a AstroTurf at home. So in our backyard. So we just train there for now. And sometimes I go to the ground, but usually I just train there. We just do simple and basic skills and just some mini games and just matches and all. But I just train there.
Now, we had about a month in the middle of the year where you had a chance to hopefully get back on the field again, which I think the season would have restarted around July. Before obviously now we're in where we are now. I guess, did you have hope and did you actually get back on the field again to train at the hockey fields there at Craigieburn?
Yep, so we got time to train. We trained for about a month, I think. But then we didn't actually we knew that we were going to have a season, but then we were in the middle thinking we were going to have a season or not. So we did train. It was a lot of fun. I was really happy that I got to go back on the field and all, but unfortunately no season. So
next year, 2021, obviously it's going to be a big year for everyone here in Melbourne, especially to get back on the field. How exciting is that? And are you counting down those months to hopefully get back on the field again for the season starting?
Really excited. I just want to go back to the field and just start practicing and start being with my teammates and all, because it's just so much fun just being with your team and just working together and getting your skills done and everything.
Tell us a bit about last year and how did your teams fare last year?
So last year I played in 3 teams. I played in under 14s, under 12s and senior women's team. For seniors women, we came runner up. And for under 14s, we went to the semi-finals. And for under 12s, they don't really have semi-finals or finals. But we stayed undefeated the whole league. And for under 14s, we made it to the semi-finals. And for women's, we came runner up.
Now, you mentioned about your under 12s. Last year, obviously coming, technically the champions, because obviously no team could beat your team throughout last year. I'm assuming now those those under 12 girls that played in that team last year will now be going up to 14s going to 2021. Team that went through undefeated. How exciting is that to have the whole team back together again?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's going to be a bit of a challenge because we're moving from under 12s to under 14s, so other higher teams and all. But we're pretty excited. Yeah.
Now, tell us a bit about your hockey journey. Where did it all start and why did you choose it?
Okay, so my uncle, he started playing hockey back in home in India, because we're from India. So my uncle and dad, they started playing there. Then they came here, they played here, and I came after. And in 2016 I joined hockey with them, and I just joined it for fun and all, like just to, for my fitness and everything, and just for fun and to make new friends and everything. But I started getting really interested in hockey, and it's like my passion sport now. So I enjoy playing hockey a lot. It's so much fun, and you get to be with friends and everyone, and it's just like, it's basically my family. Like the people there, my hockey club and everyone, they're like my family, and it's like great.
Uh, you mentioned just before that you play in three teams last year in
Yeah.
2019, 12s, 14s, and seniors. How did you manage to, I guess, adapt to doing three games within a weekend?
So under 14s, well, under 12s, it wasn't really that hard. One of the like really old players, I guess, because I was 12 years old, so I could play, because I'm born in 2007, so I could play. And it wasn't that hard, but under 14s, I had to actually try, and it was fun. And for women's team, I was basically just a helper. So if they needed help, I would hop onto the ground and everything. And I actually went in, which was a lot of fun. It was a bit challenging, but I find it really nice, and it was really enjoying.
Now, what position do you play on the field? If you had a preferred position where you love to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be?
I'm really happy with my position. I play right in. I don't mind playing any forward position, or I don't mind playing a half, because I've played half sometimes, but I usually play a forward, and I don't mind any position.
Now, what would be some highlights throughout your hockey journey so far?
Uh, well, we have many teams, and like our club started a few years ago, and we've already achieved so much. So we've got so many highlights. We've got like many of our teams have won the championships. They've won the finals, and it's just, and me reaching the semi-final and me reaching the final and winning a silver medal is like a big highlight for me, because I didn't really expect to achieve that much, and it's just huge. That too in like a few years, because it takes a lot of practice.
Tell us a bit about your teammates last year in those three teams that you mentioned, and maybe is there maybe a couple of those hockey players we should watch out for going into 2021?
So I think everyone, like all three teams, were really nice. Everyone was so supportive and kind. And if you made a mistake, they just help you out. Our captain for the senior women's team was Pupinder Kaur. She was so sweet, and she just helped me so much with just there, and she's just really nice. And for under 14s, we basically worked as a team. We just have our plans and everything set together, and everyone just would like work together just to like win, and it was a lot of fun. And under 12s, it was really fun too. So there were like not many big kids. Like I was one of the big kids, so it was sweet just helping the other kids out. Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your coaches there at Craigieburn Falcons.
So we have a few coaches. They all coach their own teams. For women's, we have Pupinder Kaur, who was also the captain. She is just really sweet. She helps you with everything. And we also have Lou Sorello. He was one of the main coaches for under 14s. He helped a lot. He developed your skills, and he would just push you to work harder and keep you dedicated. And it was just so sweet. And everyone's really sweet there, and all the coaches are really nice.
Uh, what does the sport of hockey mean to you now, especially playing at Craigieburn Falcons?
So Craigieburn Falcons is like my family. Everyone is really nice and so supportive, and we celebrate each other's success. It's just so nice being part of that beautiful family. Hockey means a lot to me because it's been in my family for a while now. So I really enjoy playing it, and it's just like a huge thing for me. It's like a part of my life now, like a huge part of my life, and I'm fine with that. It's really nice, and I'm really happy that it's part of my life, and I chose hockey.
Do you have any future ambitions in the sport, long and short term?
I'm more of an academic person than sport. I started hockey for just fun and physical fitness and everything. It's a huge part of my life, but I just want to achieve as much as I can and just see how far I can go and just go with the flow.
What would be your advice to our listeners out there and viewers out there once we get our lockdown to come down to Craigieburn? There, I think it's on Grand Boulevard to,
Yeah.
I guess, get involved there at the Craigieburn Falcons.
I'd say, so for the viewers, I'd just say, or listeners, just the more you practice, the better results you'll get. So just keep practicing and stay dedicated to and show your intensity on the field. And just try to stay mentally present, because I know we all can just like lose focus and just get distracted, but try to stay mentally present.
Now, let's finish off with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates last year.
Yeah.
Firstly, any embarrassing moments by anyone?
Okay, so we have a lot of embarrassing moments. It's just so much fun. We just laugh it off and it's end of the day. But I personally have one. So I remember this one because this happened a few weeks ago. I was playing and I was just like doing some hitting drills and all, and I swinged and I fell, and everyone started laughing because I missed the hit and I fell. But it was just so much fun, and it's just everyone's so sweet about it and they just help you out. Yeah. And as a team, we have so many that I don't even remember. We just laugh at it and then it's done for the day.
Now, I have to ask this question. Who's the comedian in the team?
Okay, basically all comedians, because someone would just crack a joke at the start of the match or something, like in the middle of training or something, and we'd all just laugh and cheer up. So we're all basically comedians.
Now, I know this is thing called TikTok. So the question I'm going to ask you is, who's the best singer and dancer in the team?
Uh, I'm not really sure about this because we don't really do TikToks at training or anything. But we all are good dancers, I guess, because every time someone would score a goal, we'd just have our unique dance moves, and it's just so much fun because we'd have our unique dance moves, and it's just so cool. Yeah.
Do you have a dance move that you do when you score a goal?
I just run across the ground, so I'm not really sure if that's a dance move or anything, but yeah.
No, that's fair enough. Now, do you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
So we don't, not particularly, but I know many people in our team, they'll just like kiss the turf or something, or like do some prayers or anything, and we just, yeah, not really, but like, yeah, that's what we do. And we start with, so the for pre-game we'd start with stretching or like light running, and then we'd go into skill work and like dribbling, passing, hitting, so on. We'll just do that just to warm up.
During the lockdown, have you tried anything new? And do you have a hidden talent that you didn't think you had?
Okay, I don't think I have any hidden talents. I like singing, but I don't really sing in front of anyone. But I tried baking, and I baked cookies and cake and all, and it was fun. Yeah, and I tried reading new books, and I watched the whole of Harry Potter series because I didn't think I would be obsessed. Now I'm kind of obsessed with the Harry Potter series. They're really cool. Yeah, that's
Out of the Harry Potter series that you've watched, which one is your favourite?
uh I'd say The Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It's just a really cool book, and yeah, I just like it a lot. The movie's really cool too.
What are you looking forward to in 2021 once you get back on the field?
More training, more practice, and just working hard and staying dedicated. Learning new skills and just building up my stamina and my skill work and all. Just, yeah, and just working together with my team because they're a big part of my life, and just getting back to hockey.
Well, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having you on the show. Obviously, I wish I could be talking to you about the season in 2020,
Yeah.
but obviously, due to our lockdown, obviously that didn't happen this year. Can't wait to see you on the field again in 2021, and hopefully, I'll definitely make sure I come out to watch you play and your teammates play out there at Craigieburn next year.
Yep. Thank you.
No worries, and that's over at Pure there from the Craigieburn Falcons Hockey Club. Of course, make sure to get out there because one of the best hockey venues in the north of Melbourne, of course, they're at Grand Boulevard in Craigieburn. And you can't miss it there, so make sure to get out there and have a go in the sport of hockey and support the Mighty Falcons in 2021. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away. Here on Lockdown Friday. Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Friday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's turn our attention to hockey again. Of course, continue our series with the Craigieburn Falcons Hockey Club. And of course, we've got three very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about what they have been doing during this lockdown to hopefully get back on the field again in 2021. And they join us right now to tell us all about it. Thanks all three for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
I'll get all three to introduce yourselves and obviously which teams you would normally be playing for if the season went ahead this year.
So I'm Harjot, and this season, if it went forward, I'll be playing for Falcons.
My name is Sita. If the season went on, I would be playing in Vic League 2 in the women's team.
I'm Tanya. I would have been playing for the Falcons in Vic League 2 as well.
I wish I could be talking to all three about the season, but obviously that hasn't happened this year due to the lockdown and COVID. I guess what have all three of you been doing to keep yourselves motivated to hopefully get back on the field next year?
It's been hard, to be honest with you, to stay motivated. But aside from that, I haven't done any hockey practice of any sort. I've been going on walks and whatnot with Sita here and there a few times a week, and that's been about it. So, yeah.
And plus, all of us are VCE students as well, so it kind of makes it difficult because we have to do studies and keep up with school as well. So yeah, as me as well, I've just been going on walks, not doing too much. I haven't got any hockey practice in, but yeah, focusing on school at the moment.
Yeah, I've been to the pitch maybe 1 or 2 times and just messed around, done some drags and stuff. But other than that, trying to work out at home on and off. But that's literally probably it because of school and stuff.
Now, all three just mentioned that you're all in BCE at the moment. I guess how much of that time is taken up and how frustrating is it not be at school this year?
It's frustrating. You have your moments where you're very frustrated, because you can't get proper teacher help and whatnot. But at the same time, it's not as bad being at home. There's a lot more flexibility in terms of, there's many factors that you can be flexible with. So I guess there's pros and cons to everything. But it's frustrating that you're always home and then you just get sick of the same routine every day. And whereas if you're at school, you'd have something different going on every day. So, I mean, you have your pros and your cons with everything.
I mean, it's in nobody's control, to be honest. So we just have to make the most of it, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, I travel 2 hours a day, one way to school. So it's really beneficial for me to stay at home because I'm saving, 4 hours a day traveling. So I get a lot more in each day to study.
During the lockdown, have you been doing any Zoom sessions or have you been keeping up with your teammates to see how they're traveling?
Well, I've been in contact. I'll give them a call here and there, asking how they're going and stuff, but I haven't met up with anyone or Zoom called, if you get what I mean, just over phone, text, yeah.
Just brief little catch-ups with certain players. I mean, everyone's got different lifestyles, they've got different priorities, and it's hard to find a time where it suits everyone to get together and, catch up. So given that we all come from different age demographics, it's hard to just find a time where everyone's free have been happening, I guess.
Now, when I think we had a little window of hope back in June, that obviously there was a chance to get the season, at least if it's not the full season, would have been the shortened season. I guess were either of you optimistic that is we're going to get back on the field mid-year?
We did. I think we had about 2 weeks of pre-season training in June, and then we were quite optimistic in the fact that it would be a much scaled down version of the season. It wouldn't be a full-fledged season as we would before. But there was that small glimmer of hope, or we might have like maybe half the season of what we would have played if COVID wasn't around. But I guess COVID had other plans and it shut down our little second season as well.
Tell us a bit about last year.
Well, last year we played Metro B in the women's, and we did very good throughout the season. I think we lost 1 game throughout the regular season, and then when it came down to the grand final, unfortunately we lost that, and which wasn't great given that we had played so well throughout the regular season. And Seed at the Night also played under 18s, which was like it was new to the club because we had never done that before.
We did pretty good, I guess. We made it to the grand finals and we lost that game, but yeah. I think throughout the whole season,
last year.
yeah, throughout the whole season, Tanya, we lost 1 game, was it? And the grand finals, right?
1 game throughout the regular season, and then the grand final that we lost as well. Yeah. So it was good. And then we had under 18s as well, Seed at the Night, which was different in terms of that we were actually playing with people our age as opposed to the women's team, where there's people of all sorts of age ranges playing. So it was good to have that as well, to play with kids, have like a sort of a higher intensity game as well. It was a very tough challenge. It was much more fast paced and much more competitive as well, which is always good. So there's a lot to learn from under 18 as well.
We didn't necessarily win all games or anything. We didn't perform as well as I think all of us would like to, but it was a learning experience. I mean, it was fun and very competitive. So, and plus I think for our club, this was the first under 18s team. So it was good.
What are all three you looking forward to in 2021 once we get back on the field?
Just playing hockey, to be honest, and just being able to get back on the field and just play with your friends and
And like having that like taken away from you was hard. It's like you do get withdrawal at some, so it would be good to get back into it and have some sort of normality in our lives.
So like for me, hockey was like the part of my week where I just like let go and everything is just like there. And then hockey, like I come and everything just, disappears from my brain and I just focus for like, 60 minutes even. And like not having that anymore, like really sucks. Cause like, you're just stuck at home, routine days, it just keeps going on and on and on. But
yeah. Going off what she said, I'm saying that VCE, as like VCE students, it's like one thing kind of like you're in the routine of going to school, doing work and stuff. So it's like a little time out kind of thing, if you get what I mean. It's like good to just play sport and just be surrounded by your friends and family playing.
Now, before I get on to how all you got involved in hockey, the question I'm going to ask you is, how special is to play with each other on the same team? And you must give some love to each other.
That's always fun. I mean, it's good because you can talk about stuff that is like, because playing with like Tanya or her Jot and stuff, we're all from like, we're same age, if you get what I mean. So everything we talk about, you can relate to each other and it's all fun.
And it's not like none of us go to the same school. So it's like a to like connect and, spend time with each other because we don't have that 5 days a week.
Even like, cause like we're all the same age kind of, and like we're all friends, it's a lot easier to like trust them on the field as well. Like not just like, as like a friend group, just like on the field as players. And like you develop that like deeper connection with those players and it's easy to, like pass the ball around and, cause you know them better.
Yeah.
That really helps.
Definitely.
For all three, tell us how you got involved in hockey and why did you choose it?
So I joined hockey, or well, I was exposed to hockey when I was about in year 3 or 4. So I went to the State Netball and Hockey Centre, and originally I was going there to play netball because my parents wanted me to join netball. So I got to the netball stadium, and then there was a lot of like yelling and like screaming, and I got really scared like as a little kid. So then like on the way back out, right, we were going past the hockey area, and I saw like a couple of kids play hockey, and I was like, whoa, like that looks so much fun. And then ever since that, I got my parents to put me into hockey, and then ever since that, hockey has been my favorite sport.
Before joining hockey, I played basketball for about 6 to 7 years. Stopped playing basketball, and then my younger brother, he got into hockey through like a friend. I would go to like watch, and everyone would be like, join. There's a lot of people like your age, and the women's team needs players. So I think I refused all those for about a year, and then even my dad was like, get into it, be good for you, it's a good social thing, it's good for your like keeping fit in general. And then something came over me one day and I gave it a go and haven't looked back since.
Yeah, my story is similar. I've been playing basketball for like 5-6 years, but there was a time period when I didn't play any sport. I'm a really sporty person, so I'll be in school teams and all, but hockey was like one thing that I never tried. I was like not interested at all, and my coach had been trying to get a hold of me, and I joined after a year. I was really skeptical about it. I was just like, should I not? But in the end, I joined, and yeah, I'm gonna definitely continue to play.
Now, what position do all three play on the field? Now, I'm assuming none of you are defenders, so I'm gonna ask this question. Obviously, what position you all play on the field, and if you had a preferred position where you'd love to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be?
I'll go. Last season I played center forward, and this season I should say season 2 I played left in or right in, either one. I don't mind where my coach places me, to be honest, but anywhere but defense, I guess. That's, yeah.
Left out or right out. I'll play anywhere. I like being on the wing. I prefer playing there, so I'd rather not be in defense. Being a forward keeps me on my toes, so I'm always running around, which is good.
In my previous seasons, I've always been put as a striker, either wing or center forward. But last season and the season before and this season, I've been playing in a center forward and mid as well. And I'm really enjoying mid. So hopefully my coach puts me as mid or inner, because I really enjoy that.
Now, what does the sport of hockey mean to all three of you, and especially playing there at the Craigieburn Falcons?
The sport has given me a lot in terms of my physical health and well-being and my social. I've met some of my best friends there, and that will always be something really close to me. And it's just that sense of belonging we get playing at the Falcons specifically. You're able to connect, and everyone comes from similar lives, and there's obviously the differences as well. But yeah, it's one place where I truly feel like I belong, and it's not something I've ever found living in Australia before. So going to the club always, I feel belonged, and it's some place that I feel like I fit in.
Yeah, there's a great sense of community and family. It's basically no matter when you go, no matter who you're with, it's always really nice and wholesome. And you can feel you can talk to anyone, and everyone will be nice to you, and it's just really, really nice.
Yeah, Same here. You do get a sense of belonging, obviously, knowing people people there are like of the similar cultural backgrounds and stuff. And it's always fun just like talking. You can talk to anyone, like Hajot said. It's always fun. There's no negativity, like there's no judgmental behavior, if you get what I mean. You can act freely. There's no, yeah.
Now, tell us a bit about your coaches there at Craigieburn.
Well, they're amazing.
Like designated coach, but there are plenty of like people willing to help us. They all have ample like amounts of like experience, and they've all played high levels of hockey. So it's always good to have their wisdom, and their experience always comes in handy, like in teaching like newbies like myself, simple like how to learn basic things the simpler way, and new tricks and techniques that they've learned throughout their like careers of hockey that have spanned many, many years. So it's always good to have the wisdom and the experience that our coaches have.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also really fun listening to their stories of when they were at their peak, basically in their hockey careers, those who are like players and stuff. My coach, I know about her, is she always tells me stories of how they used to travel and play against different teams of different countries. So that's always fun listening to her and just getting to learn from them.
Yeah, like the other two said, they have heaps and heaps of experience, and they have a lot of skill and like knowledge. So absorbing that like into your own gameplay is really, really like, beneficial to you. And they're all really kind and helpful, and like they don't hesitate like in helping you. So it's like really, good to be around them. You don't feel like, like you can't ask them any questions, because no matter what you ask, they'll always, be ready to help you.
Any future ambitions in the sport of hockey for either of you?
At the moment, not so much. Sorry to cut you off. Not so much in hockey, but I would definitely like to continue playing it.
No, I wouldn't say I have any future ambition of making a career out of hockey. Definitely will continue to play for as long as I can. Not being a typically sporty person, hockey is more just for like fun and socializing and keeping fit. So I wouldn't say I'm extremely serious about it, but no future ambition as such as of now, but maybe down the line we'll see.
If I am given the opportunity, I would like to, progress my hockey career and like maybe play in the national team, or, like state team. That would be really, really like good. And I'm looking forward to if I do get that opportunity. But if I don't, that's okay, because I'll, still continue playing hockey for as long as I can.
Now, what would be your advice to our listeners or viewers out there once we get our lockdown to head down to the Craigieburn Falcons Hockey Club? Now, of course, I believe that is on Grand Boulevard.
Just give it a go. I mean, there's a lot of people that are in the same boat with no experience, and I think that's one beneficial thing about our club. Not everyone is extremely like a pro at it. Everyone's still learning, and I feel like it's one sport that it's fun. It's really fun to play, and there's heaps and heaps of benefits of it, and it'll do wonders for your like physical, social, mental health and well-being. So don't be afraid to give it a go, and everyone's always willing to help, and there's nothing to be shy about, I guess.
Yeah, and since our club is mostly of the Indian community, I just want to put it out there that nobody should feel like they're outsiders, even if they're not from that background, because we're a very accepting community, if you get what I mean. And it's not, you don't have to be a young kid to play. We have older women team. We have like men and women who are like in their 40s, 30s, they're still playing. So
yeah, just don't like second guess it, because people tend to like, put work or like study as their first priority, and like it's completely understandable that you do, but it's also important to have like sport, even if it's not hockey, just like sport in your life, because it plays such a crucial part in, your overall work to life balance. And it just really helps you in general, just so, you know, keep your like mind cool, everything. And it's a great, you know, outlet for just getting out of your routine days.
For both of you, who had the most embarrassing moments on the field this other in the preseason or last year, and what was it?
I wouldn't say I've had like any drastic embarrassing moments, but there is the occasional way like you miss an easy goal, you miss an open goal or whatnot, which can be like when there's heaps and heaps of people watching you, it can get quite embarrassing. And then like the times where like the balls come to you and you haven't been able to stop it and it's like gone through your legs or whatnot. So I've had a few of them, but I wouldn't say I've had any like drastically embarrassing moments where I've just like lost it. But there are the few little things here and there.
I had this like decently bad moment last season when I was playing for Essendon. So it was basically just like me and the goalie, and I was just like running towards the goalie, and I think the goalie like side tackled me, and I literally just flipped, like front flip onto the floor, and like my face was just like boom. And then all like the whole like, you know, all like the spectators and all the crowd just like went silent, and everyone was like, oh. And then I was on the floor for like a good 15-20 seconds, and then everyone was like, you know, is she okay? And then they had to sub me out because they thought I had a concussion. And in that same game, like 2 minutes after, I was subbed back on. Some like chick hit me in like the shin, and like I was like limping, and that match was just terrible, just generally.
You just mentioned about that, Hojat, just a moment ago. Was that caught on camera?
I think it was. Someone made a Snapchat video of it, but I'm not too sure who. I was told after the match ended that someone got it on a Snapchat. So I don't know who has it and where it is, but someone definitely recorded it.
Now, tell us, who's the comedian in the team?
A lot of people throughout the team would say that Sidat and myself are. I'm not gonna comment on that, but a lot of people would say Sidat and I are, because we're known as like, well, me and her are always together, and we're always doing something. I wouldn't like to say stupid, but like we're always doing something silly together. But so like a lot of people would say that me and her are. So that's up for question, but I'm just going based off what I've been told.
Yeah, I'm not too sure because like I haven't like been with them for that long, but like as far as I know, definitely Sirat and Tanya are like really funny, like people, you know, they joke around and they're really, really nice to be around. And yeah, probably.
Now, Sarat, before we lost you there for a moment, we were just on the question of who's the comedian of the team.
You're looking at him. You're looking at the... I'm kidding. No, comedian, I would say, I don't know, me and Tanya. I think we're all kind of funny in our own ways. There's no specific, oh my God, this guy's a comedian, but yeah, we're definitely funny. Yeah.
Yes, that was mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Now, who had the
Was she being humble about it?
I set up a question. I didn't confirm.
Who had the most embarrassing moment on the field?
To be honest, I haven't had a major embarrassing moment. It's just a little slipping, falling in matches, missing the ball, missing easy goals. I think that's probably, yeah. There's not a proper major event that comes to my head.
Now I'll bring the other two back in for these questions, which is, now I know there's this thing called TikTok. So the question I'm going to ask all three of you is, who uses TikTok the most out of the team, and who's the best singer and dancer in the team?
It just kicked me out.
I know she does TikTok, but
no comment.
we have a TikToker in the interview right here. I'm referring to you.
Oh, I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Nah, but in like honesty, yeah, TikTok is like fun. It's pretty good. But I do know Sirius and Tanya can dance. Like I'm pretty sure.
I think we'll just keep that to ourselves.
Yeah, let's like.
The dancing, we're gonna keep quiet on that.
Yeah.
I know Ceda's a great singer though. Singing. Great singer.
Oh yeah.
No. Don't expose me, guys.
Now, any pre-game superstition or ritual by either of you?
Well, as a team, we do a prayer at the start. We've been doing it since we started basically playing any season we've played. We do a little prayer before we start the match. But maybe personally other players may have superstitions, but I personally don't really have one.
This may sound like really weird, but like I have to go to the bathroom before game. Otherwise, I feel like something is gonna go wrong. Like I just have to. Like even if I don't need to, I have to go. But yeah, it just like makes sure nothing goes wrong in the game, and then like it's fine then. No, I was just gonna say like I remember this one match where I didn't go, and then I think like everything went wrong that match, and I like tripped a couple of times. I couldn't stop like the ball. I couldn't like pass it properly, and like ever since then I was like, it's confirmed. Like I have to go every time.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a superstition as such. I mean, you just rock up and do your warm up and you're on the field. But I'm not a very superstitious person as it is, so never have been. So I think a bit of warm up is enough for me just to get into the game.
One last one before I let all three go, which is during the lockdown, have either of you done anything new? And is there a hidden talent that you didn't think you had?
I learned how to play the ukulele, kind of. Like a little bit. Like I'm getting there. Like I learned some like chords. But I didn't think I could like play. But yeah, I guess that's something new, and it was pretty fun. So hopefully I'll continue that as lockdown passes and go back to normal.
With me, I think, to be honest, just discovering that I can stay away from my friends and hockey. I mean, it's hard, but it's like, it's giving me more time to focus on me. So I'm like really figuring out what I like and just how I am as a person, rather than always being with others and just, not focusing on myself. I think that's one good thing, self-love. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. I mean, for like most of when things were normal, I'd always be around others, and lockdown has just given me time to like be on my own and just like shut down for a bit, and kind of like see who I am as a person and like dislikes and what I don't like. And aside from that, like spending numerous hours just sitting in the one spot watching Netflix or like YouTube. Didn't think would be able to do that, but here I am spending like 5-6 hours in like one sitting, just sitting there doing nothing.
Well, all three, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having all three on the show. Hopefully we'll be able to do another interview with all three, this time hopefully in person out there at Craigieburn, and can't wait to see how you go, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
No worries. And of course, that's the Craigieburn, of course, women's hockey team there. Of course, make sure once we get our lockdown in a couple of weeks, hopefully you can get down to Craigieburn, especially at Grand Boulevard down there at Craigieburn to have a go in the sport and support the mighty Falcons in 2021. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on Lockdown Friday. Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Friday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's continue our Craigieburn Falcons Hockey Club theme in particular. And of course, we'll turn our attention to the senior women's team in particular. And of course, I wish I could be interviewing them about the season. And of course, hopefully redemption from last year's grand final loss. But of course, unfortunately, the season got put on hold because of COVID and lockdown. But we got a very special guest on the show. Of course, we've got the head coach of the women's hockey team to tell us a bit about how things have been going this year, as well as obviously preparing for the 2021 season. She joins us right now to tell us a bit about. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hello, Will. Yeah, like 2020, we were actually expecting to enter into Week League 2, and almost our team was ready, and we were very excited about it. But somehow, due to this COVID-19, like everything is on the hold now. So now at the moment, the training is not on. But I think everyone hopefully will be back in the field soon.
Now I'll get you to introduce yourself and tell us what has it been like. I know you mentioned just a little bit before how it's been like this year, but
Yep.
were you optimistic that the season could have gone ahead this year when it was, I think it was around June this year?
Hi, my name is Bhupinder and I am coach for the women's hockey team for Craigieburn Falcons. Yeah, we were actually very optimistic about that. We were actually thinking of giving a good challenge in Week League 2 because my team was really prepared and we were fully ready to go for this season, because last season we entered into Metro B, and after that, like, because we actually gave a very good fight to the other clubs during that league, and then only we got the opportunity to enter the Week League 2. And we were very optimistic that we will definitely give good results during this year,
Last year, I think the team got to the finals, and I think almost went all the way. Unfortunately, fell short in the grand final.
Yep.
Was this year going to be, obviously now with this year not going ahead, is next year going to be hopefully a chance to go all the way and win it all?
Yeah, definitely. We were actually very much sure that even during 2019 when we were in the finals that we were going to win the game, but somehow something happened and we couldn't somehow win that game. But it was a big disappointment for us because in the whole season, I think we only lost one game, and that was the finals, it was a very big disappointment, and we were thinking of making it up in 2020, but somehow it didn't go according to us this year. But definitely we are thinking to give good results in 2021. I'm pretty much confident about my team. Yeah.
Now, going into this year, how was the pre-season like prior to COVID? And I guess, and how was the motivation like prior to COVID?
Yeah, because we were nearly ready to play the Week League 2. I think only few weeks were left for us to start the league. The team was very much motivated. They were very much enthusiastic about it. They were like, we were totally doing like our best to not to miss the trainings, to actually train twice a week. And even we try to work out and do some sessions during the holidays as well. Girls were pretty much happy and enthusiastic about it. So yeah, but it didn't happen. So we'll continue after this, everything comes back to normal, hopefully.
Now, I interviewed 3 of your players from that team just a moment ago. Obviously, Horja, Sarat, and also Tenja as well. Tell us about those 3 players that I just interviewed.
Because all right. These 3 girls, they have been actually, I can say, backbone of the team. So Harjot, actually, she just joined us this year. She only joined us after the 2019 league, and she had been playing for other club earlier on, but she saw the results that we had given, and she was pretty much happy to join our club, to be in that team. She saw the girls playing, how much they have improved and all. Her Seerat, actually, I was the one who actually approached her because she used to play basketball. And during when this club, I joined in 2017, and I was trying to make a team for 2018 league, and I couldn't find enough players. So I approached her Seerat because I knew she's already playing basketball and she's got, that sporty, you can say spirit. So I approached her, I encouraged her to come join my team. If you don't like it, you can just leave it later. But once she joined in, she was so much, she improved it very well during the first year itself, because she's a very good listener. So, which is actually very good. And then Tanya as well. Tanya joined us, I think last year. She did really well. She's been, these three girls have been playing in the forward line. They are my strikers.
You mentioned that you coach the team. Do you play as well, and how do you juggle both?
Okay, yeah. Like in the first year itself, it was a very big struggle for me because I was playing as well, and then I was trying to manage the whole team. So I did get support from my club, the male members of other teams and all, they helped me, they supported me with that stuff. So I had this list, and they also have seen us playing and practicing in the field all the time. So they knew like what sort of things or changes I want when I was playing on field. So they were pretty much supportive with that. It was a very difficult for me, but I managed somehow in first year. And in second year, like girls also got into that, you can say sync, they knew what I expect out of them. And when I want those changes or anything done during the team or game going on. So it was, worked well.
Now I have to ask this question. How did you get involved in hockey, and why did you choose it?
When I was 10-year-old, I think I was in my school, I used to see these young, older children, then we used to play hockey and all. So, and my older siblings, they used to play. And that kind of inspired me to join hockey. So I joined hockey after that. And once I started playing, I actually got very passionate about it. And my coaches and all, they knew how serious I am with this game, and how passionate I am. So they used to support me a lot, because back in India, it's different, like from even state level and all, everything is government funded, So I never worried about funding my own transport or going to a tournament or something. So it was always, everything was funded. I only had to do some hard work, which I was doing. So I started playing. I got good support from my coaches and everyone. And that is how, like, over the years, I played serious hockey, like for, you can say 10, 15 years.
What would be some highlights throughout your hockey journey?
Yep, I started playing in I think 1987, and after that from state I played nationals, and then I played some invitational tournaments on international level as well. So they were for a club, not for the Indian team, but for a club. So because it's so much competitive in India, like reaching the national levels as well, it's very tough. So like I continued playing for 10 years. I joined Air India club for 6 years, and I played serious hockey for them. After that, like when I got married, like it was a big gap, once, it is very common with Indian community women, once they get married, they're in a family, they put themselves, at the back. They don't think much about themselves or whatever passions they had in life. So like I was offered to play back, because I was in New Zealand when I got married. So I was offered from one of the lady from my child's kinder. She used to play for a club, she asked me if I want to join and play for them. Like it took me a few years to just think whether I have the time, whether I should be doing it or not. Here in Craigieburn, I saw this ground coming up, hockey ground, and that was when I told my husband, okay, I'm not moving anywhere now. We have the hockey ground here, so I'm going to join the club and I'm going to start playing hockey back again. So that is my journey in hockey.
What position do you play on the field? If you had a preferred position where you love to convince yourself to put yourself on, where would that be?
Now, previously I used to play as a striker on a left in position, but now because I had more responsibility on myself because the girls were new to the game. They didn't know about anything about the strategies, how it works. And also I used to play center half, which is considered as a spine, or you can say backbone of the game, because then I chose I'll play this game because then I can defend as well and then I can strike as well if I need to. But now because I could see my team was more growing, so I gave the girls an opportunity to come and play on that position, to have that more responsibility on them. And I just came back on the field. So I am still there holding them to encourage them and all, but giving them more responsibility, because I'm playing, but I want them to like learn now. That is how you play. So I am pretty much comfortable with any position. I don't really fuss about it. So whatever is available, I'll go and play. So, yeah.
What does the sport of hockey mean to you, and especially playing at Craigieburn?
Since I have started playing this game, I have always been serious about it. Once I'm on the field, everything from my mind is away. I'm just thinking of the game, spirit of the game. Like I want to play a nice hockey now. Yeah, hockey is everything for me. Like when I'm on the field, I'm totally about hockey. So I have been very passionate and still am.
What will be your advice to our listeners out there once we get our lockdown that should get involved in hockey, especially there at Craigieburn Falcons Hockey Club?
First of all, I think with these challenging times, now everyone must be realizing how important it is for everyone to have a routine, to be active, especially for children, because there was a time when we used to play outside all day and parents used to call us inside. But now it's so hard for parents to send their children outside because they're sitting in front of the screens all day. And even age is not it's just a number. So I have seen a few clubs where players are like 70 plus and 80 plus, and that actually inspired me to join back, and I think it's important for any age to have some physical activity in their routine, any game, not just hockey. But I'll definitely, because I'm interviewing for my club, I will encourage people to join our club, and especially my team, because our club is very accepting and welcoming for all. So there's no barrier of thinking like, oh, I haven't played this game, how will I learn or something. I have taught a few players who never had a background of any sport. So they literally started playing any game with me, and they are playing very good hockey now. So I will encourage my listeners to come join the club. We are there to support you. Definitely see you soon.
Now let's finish off with a couple of lighthearted questions about the team. Who had the most embarrassing moment on the field last year and in pre-season this year?
I won't say there were any embarrassing moments, but they were very fun moments, I can say. Because when we started the team, we didn't get much time to train together and tell them, what does this foul means, or if a referee is doing this, what does that mean? So when we were playing the first game, every time the umpire used to whistle, all the girls used to look at me, So that was kind of funny for me. What? Okay. So every time something used to happen, they used to look at me, now what? So I had to explain it to them. So that leave the ball, this means this, So
who's the comedian in the team?
I have many. So one is Shubh Sirat and Tanya that you interviewed. And there's another one girl, this Sukham. They are very lively girls, always joke around, keep the team happy, fun loving. I love these girls, yeah.
Now, any good singers and dancers in the team we should know about?
When it comes to dancers, I can say dancers, pretty much everyone is good except me. Everyone dances well. But when it comes to singing, I'm still experimenting because I haven't explored much in that area. I want to see if there is any who really sings well and all. So hopefully I'll come to know soon.
Now, do you have a pre-game ritual or superstition?
I would say not here, but back in India when I used to play hockey, like players are so much superstitious about everything. Once you leave the room, we were not allowed to go back because it's considered as a bad luck. There were so many things, but here children are not in that zone, they don't think much about it. They're just going, they'll play the game, finish. So I don't think there's pretty much, they're cool about everything. They're not superstitious at all.
Thanks so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having you on the show. I can't wait to come out to Craigieburn once we get our lockdown, and especially to come down to the hockey club and to interview the team in person. And I want to wish your team all the best for the 2021 season. Hopefully I can come out and actually do some face-to-face interviews with your team instead of doing that over Zoom.
Yes, sure. Why not? It will be a big encouragement for my team as well. That will be great having you face to face. So hopefully, maybe once this season starts, we get to go back on the field. Hopefully, see you soon. Thank you so much for having me, Will.
No worries. And that's of course the head coach of the women's hockey team there, of course. From the Craigieburn Falcons Hockey Club, of course. Make sure you get down there, of course. One of the best hockey venues in the north there in Craigieburn, of course, on Grand Boulevard there at Craigieburn. So make sure you get down there, get involved in 2021 or once we are out of lockdown. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on Lockdown Friday.